Hey, so I created a fictitious profile here for sake of having a good template as a beginning Unity game developer or whatever type of working professional. I chose to use Unity game developer. These are some tips that I'd suggest to use for your LinkedIn. The popularity of using LinkedIn for recruiting, it depends quite a bit on the industry and the country you're in and some details like that. But for game development and in the UK and in the US, in my opinion, LinkedIn is the single most important thing. So if you're not currently exploiting it, I would get on that. And even if you don't find your opportunities through there and people don't find you through there, which I think that you should and they you should be linking your LinkedIn around your socials and however other people are finding you from your resume, for example, your CV. It's an excellent way for people to find out more about you. So here, some of the highlights, and I'll try and keep it under the 5-minute limit that I'm already burning through. So I have a custom image here at the top. It's not important that it's custom, but I suggest use a banner image and make one that is relevant. So something that is a bit playful because you're in game dev, but not too crazy, right? Always lean back on being professional, in my opinion. Then here a personal image of some random stock image dude. And then you can choose to have this open for work banner added. And it also kind of lets you into the SEO engine of this for people to find you as a job hunt. Then for the career here, I recommend make this the career that you want next, not necessarily what you currently have, especially if the job you currently have is not a job that you want. So people are going to land on this, and the first thing they're going to do is look at the picture of you, and then they're going to maybe look at your name, but definitely look at this highlighted section. So connect the dots for them. Someone is landing here and they're thinking about hiring a junior game dev, make it very clear. Then second step is that in the experiences, at the beginning of your career, you may not have a lot of work experiences. If you have something that is not game related, like being a food server or whatever, I definitely think it's relevant to put it because it shows that you're employable. I'd suggest only to do it if you have 1 year or more of experience in it, because less than 12 months raises questions about why you didn't stay longer. So in this fictitious example, I did 2 years. Then if you want to list your master experience, I think it's an awesome idea. Here, in my opinion, is how you could add it there. So this is, there's lots of ways you could do it, but putting some bullet points about what you did and some skills that you've got. I chose to match those same skills here for the top position, and the top position I think is quite strategic. Again, put the job title that you want and do it at your own personal website. It's as if you are currently employed by yourself. Now, this does two things. One, it reinforces exactly what you do, gives you a nice block of information here to showcase what skills you bring to the table and what bullet points you find yourself wanting to do. And then secondly, even if you're not a full-timer and you want to do contract work, perhaps later in your career, this is the de facto way to represent yourself. So on my own LinkedIn, I do this as well because I get contract work. And as a contractor, I am always working for myself, and then my company interacts with their company. But even if that's not what you're up to and you just want to find a full-time gig, I think this is an excellent way to pad your experience with one thing at the top here and really help that person connect the dots. Lastly, there's lots of little gems in the way that I organize this from a consistency standpoint, clean layout, making sure there's icons for everything and stuff like that. But I've also made all the verbs in present tense, which is optional, but it's a common piece of advice that you see when you're making your resume and digital versions of your resume like this, that the person reading that is more easily understanding that this is what you presently do, even if it was a position you did last month or 3 years ago. They're all in present tense. So you can Google more about why and if that's for you, but I do it in my own, and I think it's a good idea. So thanks. I will include the link and you can take a look at this.